What night for Dodgers fans across the world. You could almost feel the tension in the air at Dodger Stadium. That mix of nerves and excitement that only comes in October baseball. The lights, the shadows creeping across the infield from that weird afternoon start. The crowd that wasn't quite full yet, but ready to erupt. And once again, this team showed exactly why their one went away from heading back to the World Series. It wasn't perfect baseball. Far from it. But it was smart, gritty, patient baseball. And when you're built like this Dodger squad, that's all you need. Tyler Glasnow took the mound, and, let's be honest, it wasn't a masterpiece. But it didn't have to be. After watching Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Blake Snell throw absolute gems earlier in the series, the bar might have been a little unfairly high. Glasnow went out there, competed like a warrior, and kept the team in the game. 5 2/3 innings, just 3 hits, 1 earned run. Yeah, he had some command issues with the walks, and yeah, the pitch count climbed faster than he wanted, but he fought. And in October, that's the difference between surviving and packing your bags. He didn't dominate, but he didn't fold either. And the Dodgers? They didn't panic for a second. It's almost like this team's built with this quiet belief that no matter how the game starts, they're going to find their moment. Whether to shut down bullpen, a clutch hit, or a ridiculous defensive play, they always seem to pull the right card from the deck. The craziest part? They've barely been hitting. I mean, let's be real. They're 8 wins and 1 loss in the playoffs, and they still haven't really swung the bats. That's absurd, but that's also what makes this run so impressive. They don't need to score 10 runs to win. They can win ugly, and they can win clean. That's championship DNA. Now, the big debate of the night. Should Dave Roberts have left Glasnow in? You could argue it either way. Some fans wanted to see him finish the 6th, maybe push into the 7th. But look, Roberts manages every arm differently. With Yamamoto, you let him go deep, let him finish his masterpiece. With Glasnow, you play it by feel. He'd been laboring, and when you've got a bullpen that's been sharp lately, you trust it. It's not always a popular call, but it worked. The bullpen came in and slammed the door. And oh boy, this bullpen. For months, it's been the biggest question mark in Los Angeles. Early in the season, they were overworked, just trying to survive night after night while the starters struggled to go deep. But now, they look refreshed. They look dangerous. Vija, Trinan, Bonda, Sasaki, all of them came in like they had something to prove. 3 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no walks, no nonsense. It's the first time this postseason they've really had to shoulder multiple innings, and they handled it beautifully. Every single guy came in locked in, pounding the strike zone, trusting their stuff. And you can see the confidence growing pitch by pitch. When Roki Sasaki came in for the 9th, you could feel the stadium holding its breath. The kid just attacked. Strike after strike, 0 hesitation. That's the kind of mentality this team feeds off. No fear, no doubt, just execution. They're not giving free passes, and when you don't walk hitters, it's hard for the other team to string together runs. Milwaukee doesn't have a lineup full of sluggers, so if you're not giving them gifts, they're not going to hurt you much. But let's rewind for a second to how it all started. First inning, Shohei Ohtani with what I call the weirdest triple I've seen in a while. He just flicked that thing down the line, it found a corner, and with his speed, boom, he's standing on third before anyone could blink. Then MOOKIE BETTS came up and laced a double to right center to bring him home. It felt like, okay, here we go, this might be the breakout game. But then nothing. They stranded MOOKIE at second, and for a few innings, it looked like déjà vu. Dodgers get 1 early, can't cash in again, and suddenly it's a grind. Enter Jacob Misrowski, the Brewers starter who was flat out filthy. He was carving up hitters for 5 innings, mixing speeds, hitting his spots, and dealing with those nasty shadows on the field that make hitting nearly impossible. That's the thing about these mid-afternoon starts in LA. Hitters absolutely hate them. The sun, the shadows, the contrast, it's like trying to hit a wiffle ball. But eventually, as the light evened out, the Dodgers saw their window. 6th inning, a few base runners, and boom, a string of hits from Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, and Tommy Edman flipped the game. It wasn't loud contact, it wasn't flashy, but it was clutch. The kind of small ball moment that wins playoff games. And you know what's been so fun to watch about this team? They don't waste their opportunities. Sure, they don't get a ton of hits, but when they do, it's with runners in scoring position. That's been the secret sauce this postseason: timing. Baseball isn't always about who hits more, it's about who hits at the right time. And right now, the Dodgers are living proof. Now, if we're talking about game-changing moments, you got to bring up Max Muncy's play in the second inning. Runner on third, one out, grounder to third, and Muncy fires a perfect throw home to cut down the run. That right there flipped the entire vibe of the game. The Brewers had a chance to steal momentum early, and Muncy shut the door. That's what postseason baseball is about. One play, one throw, one decision that changes everything. He's made a habit of those this October. He's not going to win any Gold Gloves, but man, he's making plays when they matter most. And let's not forget how this guy even got here. Back in 2017, Muncy was a cast-off. Released. Any team could have picked him up. The Dodgers took a chance, and now he's making momentum-swinging plays in the NLCS. You can't buy that kind of grit. That's not money. That's culture. That's player development, trust, and confidence. The same story goes for Tommy Edman. Traded over from the Cardinals, now playing huge roles on a championship-caliber team. You look up and down this roster, and it's full of those stories, players who found new life in Dodger Blue. Speaking of Betts, what can you even say at this point? He's not just a superstar, he's a chameleon. The guy moved from right field to shortstop midseason, and you'd think he's been playing there his entire life. That ninth-inning play he made tonight? Unreal. Pure Gold Glove level defense. His instincts, his reads, his calmness under pressure. That's leadership you can feel. He doesn't need to shout or show off. He just makes plays that save games. And oh yeah, he's a finalist for a Gold Glove in his first full season at the position. That's insane. This Dodgers defense as a whole has been quietly excellent this series. It's not always pretty. They've had a few funky moments in the outfield, but when the pressure's on, they've delivered. And that's what makes this team so tough to beat. When you pair elite defense with timely hitting and pitching that just refuses to give in, you get what we're seeing right now. A team that can win any style of game you throw at them. And all the noise outside about money, payrolls, and super teams? Forget it. Money doesn't buy resilience. It doesn't buy chemistry. It doesn't buy execution. Sure, it gets you talent. That's undeniable. But what the Dodgers have built is more than that. They've created a culture where everyone's expected to rise to the occasion. From Ohtani to the last guy in the bullpen, they're all locked in. They're not beating teams just because they spin big. They're beating them because they play the game the right way. This team used to play sloppy baseball. Missed throws, mental errors, guys running into outs. All those little things that kill you in October. But now, it's crisp, it's focused, it's precise. They've cleaned it up, and that's what separates a talented team from a championship team. When you combine that talent with execution, this is what you get: dominance that looks effortless. So here we are, one win away from the World Series again. And the best part? They don't even look satisfied. They look hungry. They look like they know they haven't peaked yet. The bats haven't even truly woken up, and still, they're steamrolling through the postseason. If that changes, if the offense catches fire, watch out. Because right now, even half awake, this Dodgers team looks unstoppable. Every great postseason run has that one game where everything clicks, where the identity of the team shines brighter than ever. And for the Dodgers, this might have been it. You could feel that connection between the players, that calm energy that says, we've been here before, we know how to handle this. From the dugout to the bullpen, everyone seemed locked into the same rhythm. It's the kind of thing you can't fake in October. You can't buy it, you can't coach it. It has to be earned through grind, failure, and trust. And this Dodger squad, they've earned it. The Brewers came in desperate, backs against the wall, throwing everything they had at Los Angeles. You could see it in Misrowski's intensity and how Milwaukee tried to pressure the bases early, tried to steal momentum any way they could. But every time they made a push, the Dodgers had an answer. It wasn't always flashy. Sometimes it was a perfectly timed walk, a clean double play, or a pitcher coming in and firing a first-pitch strike. That's the difference between a team hanging on and a team that's built to win titles. And maybe that's the story of this series. Milwaukee fighting with everything they've got, but LA just being too deep, too balanced, too composed. The Brewers live off of chaos. They create runs through small ball, through aggression, through forcing mistakes. But what happens when a team across from you doesn't make mistakes? When the defense is airtight, the pitching doesn't issue walks, and every ball in play seems to find a glove. You start running out of answers fast. You saw that clearly in the second inning when Milwaukee had their best chance to jump ahead. Runner on third, less than 2 outs, prime situation to cash in a run. And then Max Muncy turned the entire game with that throw home. The kind of instinct play that defines postseason baseball. It wasn't just a nice defensive moment, it was a statement. It said, "Not here, not tonight." And from that point forward, it felt like the Dodgers were in full control, even when the scoreboard didn't show a huge lead. That play set the tone for the entire night. The Brewers had stolen bases all year long, leading the National League, but in this series, they've been frozen. It's like every time someone gets on, they hesitate. They know Will Smith's arm is ready. The middle infielders are positioned perfectly, and any small mistake could be the end of an inning. You can see the hesitation, and that's when you know you've got a team rattled, when their biggest strength suddenly disappears because you're dictating the pace of the game. From there, the Dodgers pitching staff did exactly what great staffs do in October. They executed their plan without blinking. Glasnow's effort set the foundation, but once the bullpen came in, it was game over. Trinan looked like vintage Trinan, his sinker dancing at the knees. Vija came in and threw fearless strikes, challenging every hitter that stepped up. Bonda mixed pitches beautifully, and then Sasaki came in like a machine. You could almost feel the intimidation coming off the mound. Every pitch was electric. Every batter looked like they knew they were in trouble. What makes this bullpen turnaround so wild is how quickly it's come together. Just a couple months ago, this was the part of the team that made fans nervous every night. Leads were never safe. Late innings felt like walking on a tightrope. But the difference now? Rest, rhythm, and confidence. The starters have gone deeper, giving those relievers a chance to reset, to get their strength back. And you can tell. Their pitches are sharper, their body language is louder, and their focus is tighter. They're no longer surviving. They're hunting. That shift in mindset has changed everything for this team. Because now, when a starter hands the ball over in the 6th or 7th, there's no fear. There's trust. You can see in how Roberts manages the game. No panic, no hesitation. He knows that whoever he calls from the pen is going to be ready. And when your manager trusts his bullpen, it trickles down to everyone. The defense tightens up, the hitters relax, the dugout breathes easier. That's how championship chemistry looks in real time. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. A storm seems to be brewing over Dodger Stadium as whispers from inside the organization suggest that Mookie Betts, the beloved star of the Los Angeles Dodgers, might be on the move. Sources close to the team, speaking on condition of anonymity, hint that front office talks are heating up, and the possibility of Betts leaving Southern California is no longer just a fantasy for fans. It could soon become a reality. Betts, who has been the face of the Dodgers since his arrival, has dazzled fans with clutch hits, spectacular fielding, and a charisma that makes him a clubhouse favorite. Yet, according to insiders, contract discussions and strategic roster shifts might be pushing the Dodgers to consider options that could shake the baseball world. Everyone loves Mookie, but baseball is a business, one source said. Sometimes even the most untouchable players end up being part of deals that nobody sees coming. The news has sent social media into a frenzy. Dodgers fans are divided between disbelief and panic, while rival teams are reportedly monitoring the situation closely. Speculation ranges from blockbuster trades involving top prospects to multi-team swaps that could redefine several rosters before the trade deadline. Analysts suggest that a move like this would not only impact the Dodgers lineup, but also send shockwaves across the league, potentially altering playoff forecasts and fan loyalty alike. While nothing has been confirmed, the murmurs are persistent. Some insiders suggest negotiations have been quietly ongoing for weeks, with whispers of offers coming from both the American and National Leagues. What remains clear is that wherever Betts goes, it will be headline news, and fans will be talking for months. As the Dodgers prepare for the next stretch of the season, the shadow of uncertainty over one of baseball's brightest stars looms large. Will Betts stay loyal to the team that cheered his every swing? Or is a stunning departure on the horizon? The answer may come sooner than anyone expects, leaving fans holding their breath and the sports world buzzing with anticipation. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.